Yo, 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 Big Kish back up in here. I got my eye on you, J. Cole. Yeah, you trying to trick all everybody, trying to make everybody thinking that you humble, you on your bike and you ride. I got my eye on you, Ninja. I got my eye on you. So come to find out, J. Cole and Drake, they're trying to do something against Dot. That's yeah. They got a plan. They got a secret plan, y'all. And we got Spotlight here exposing all of it. We about to get into this video. Y'all know I'm like holding y'all. Without further ado, let's get it. We got our eyes on you, boy.
Who told you that?
Well, you are J. Cole. We have to know.
That's never. He just asked the craziest question, which yes, the answer is yes, I did. I'm not gonna say I was the first to tell him. There was a, what's my man name that used to work for Dre? Light-skinned dude? Manny? When I brought him up to Dre, yo, you gotta sign this kid from Compton, boom, boom, Kendrick, boom, boom. And then Manny was like, oh yeah, that's the kid I was telling you about, boom, boom. So shout out to Dr. Dre. He made the right decision.
In a twist that's rocking the entire hip-hop world, new information has surfaced about a covert plan involving two of the biggest names in rap, Drake and J. Cole. Reports and insider talk suggest the duo allegedly joined forces behind the scenes with one mission, to take down Kendrick Lamar. But instead of ending Kendrick's reign, this secret plot may have completely backfired, leaving Drake and Cole exposed in ways they never expected.
So J. Cole responded to Kendrick. The bars are very vicious. Some would say offensive. Yeah, kinda guessed. You wanted him to say, oh man, his pants are poopy. He a doo-doo head. His rap beef. You thought it was gonna be nursery rhymes? I'm so confused by you guys' response. You can't be disrespectful and have respect.
From carefully timed features to questionable lyrical alliances, fans are now piecing together the moves that hint at a calculated takedown attempt. And what's more shocking, Kendrick may have seen it all coming. As the fallout continues to spread across social media and industry circles, the real story behind this power play is beginning to emerge. In today's video, we're unpacking the hidden motives, the failed strategy, and how Kendrick flipped the entire game on its head. It's fitting that J. Cole's response track became the least memorable among the major contenders. While it's hard to predict Kendrick Lamar would deliver the biggest hit of the battle, one thing became clear after Like That dropped.
Drills he was talking about, like he does these 7-minute drills that he had like Cosby doing and T-minus. Well, he'll just be like, yo, you got 7 minutes. It's basically his way of like breaking out of overthinking. Like, don't even think about it. Start a verse. What we gonna talk about? He'll be like, yo, Cos, write a verse about pizza. I don't know. Like, and then they got 7 minutes and then they put the timer on and then it's like, all right, what you got? And he'll do that with T-minus. Like, you get to pick your 2-3 sounds before you start. Then you got 7 minutes. And then he was doing drills where he was like, he got a bunch of freestyles that like over like a Buster beat, like just sharpen up his pen.
This confrontation wasn't designed for Cole. Although Kendrick's shots toward Cole were noticeable, the real narrative was always Kendrick versus Drake, two giants heading for a definitive showdown. Cole, despite once holding deep artistic admiration for Kendrick, wasn't prepared for that level of intensity.
He wasn't prepared. Y'all seen it. Y'all seen it. Schoolboy Q got at him like, bruh, this ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. Keep doing your little Dreamville thing. Do your Dreamville thing. Go ahead and drive off into the sunset. Maybe they'll forget about, you know what I'm saying, it late, but hey, look, go on that stage and apologize, boy. Tell him, go up there and apologize.
His tone on the track revealed hesitation. By April 4th, 9 days had passed since Kendrick's surprise appearance on Future and Metro Boomin's Like That, creating widespread anticipation and confusion across the industry.
But at the end of the day, when I listen to it and when it comes out and I see the talk, that don't sit right in my spirit. Trying to find a little angle and downplay his greatness. I want to say right now tonight, how many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest to ever touch microphone? Dreamville, y'all love Kendrick Lamar, correct? As do I. So I just want to come up here and be like, that was the lamest, goofiest.
Kendrick had taken nearly 2 years off since Mr. Morale and 5 since Damn, only to return with aggressive momentum. The presence of Future, Rick Ross, The Weeknd, and Metro Boomin on We Don't Trust You hinted at a broader movement forming against Drake. But questions lingered. Was Kendrick targeting Drake? Cole? Could it even be Cole given their previous collaborations, including the Black Friday remixes and plans for a joint project a decade ago? Public speculation intensified during those 9 days. Many awaited Drake's response, But the timing of Kendrick's release was critical. Just days earlier, Drake and Cole had finished their joint tour. Each night had been a celebration of mutual respect and collaboration, from first-person shooter to Evil Ways, with both artists publicly championing each other as the greatest. Then came Kendrick's verse, strategically timed as Cole returned home while Drake remained on tour. Had Kendrick released the track earlier, while the tour was ongoing, both rappers could have coordinated a collective response, perhaps even a joint track, as was speculated at the time. Given their consistent touring and probable studio access, the dynamic of the entire conflict might have shifted if they had confronted Kendrick's challenge together before responding individually.
And it made me feel like 10 years ago when I was moving incorrectly. And I pray that God align me back up on my purpose and on my path. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hopefully, you get aligned back up. Because going that dot, you're out of line. Yeah, that ain't your lane. That's not your lane right there. Stay in your lane.
I pray that Kendrick really didn't feel no way, and if he did, my chin out. Take your best shot, I'm gonna take that in the chin, boy, do what you do. It's love, you know, I pray that y'all are like, forgive the misstep, and then I can get back to my true path, because I ain't gonna lie to y'all, the past 2 days felt terrible.
Nah, I like Cole, though. I like Cole. I be joking and stuff, but as far as you linking up with Drake to try to jump Kendrick, I don't like that. We ain't gonna be doing that. Yeah, you need to let it be known. What's up? What you gonna do? Is you humble? Are we finished or are we done? You know what I'm saying?
You know how good I've been sleeping for the past 10 years. So all of that to say, man, that's a reminder to me of getting back on the right path and getting in tune with God, because I want to do that for y'all right now.
Kendrick Lamar had positioned his opponents exactly where he needed. J. Cole was at home, isolated with his thoughts, and Drake was on tour, too occupied to fully strategize a response to "Like That." Both were distracted and both found themselves compromised. What once was a discussion about who was the greatest quickly shifted into uncertainty over who would respond first. While "Like That" targeted Drake more directly, J. Cole was the first to respond, and for several strategic reasons. Drake had just released For All the Dogs, while Cole was teasing his next body of work. He had previewed tracks through a YouTube series, Might Delete Later, showing behind-the-scenes footage and hinting at a new project titled It's a Boy, followed by The Fall Off. At the same time, Drake publicly hinted at taking a musical break, whereas Cole was more present than ever, touring, dropping features, and declaring his place in rap's upper echelon. On stage, he consistently claimed GOAT status, reinforcing the idea that a response from him made the most sense. Cole's long-standing contributions, both on features and with his label Dreamville, gave weight to his voice in this moment.
I'm feeling. I'm gonna let you know how I'm feeling. Listen, the way I'm feeling is the same way I want you to walk out of here feeling about yourself. Cause you know how I'm feeling? I got my head up high, my back straight, I'm 10 toes down in Florida or anywhere else I go.
Your back wasn't straight in that all-white party. And now, on that all-white party, you was slumped over. That done chipped you up. Yeah, you was looking sickly.
And I know that no matter what, it's not a on this earth that can ever me in my life. And that's how I want you to walk out of here tonight. But in order to, get yourself all gassed up, riled up, and move towards the future, sometimes you gotta acknowledge the mistakes that you made in the past, right?
Although Cole had introduced Kendrick to Dr. Dre years earlier, the two hadn't collaborated publicly in some time. In contrast, Cole had been touring closely with Drake, appearing side by side almost nightly. That proximity made him appear aligned with Drake, even as he maintained his independence. Despite Kendrick's reduced output in recent years, Cole remained visible. Between 2018's KOD and 2021's The Off Season, he also oversaw the Revenge of the Dreamers 3 compilation. These releases, alongside major guest verses in Dreamville's music festival, solidified his consistent presence. Cole acknowledged this positioning in his eventual response track, reflecting on his role as a middle child, caught between generations. He never fully identified with the
Cole got this woe is me type spirit, like I'm just I feel like nobody. Yeah, I'm the man. These two better than me. They man, stop, man. Stop it. Stop.
the younger wave like Kodak Black and 21 Savage, but hadn't yet surpassed the icons before him like Jay-Z, Nas, and Eminem. Cole's journey, marked by a quest to craft a debut as impactful as those legends, made this moment especially significant. J. Cole seemed to be chasing his prime, or at least striving to match it. His concept of being the middle child takes on deeper meaning when viewed through the lens of hip-hop's Big Three. Among Kendrick, Drake, and Cole, he was the only one to vocalize his position within that trio, stating that the public had essentially thrown him the bronze, placing him third in an unspoken ranking. However, Cole also emphasized that greatness isn't measured solely by accolades or popularity. For him, it was about dedication to the craft and continuous improvement, traits he believed would eventually distinguish him as number one, even if the recognition came later.
He said it's about dedication to the craft. The craft has to do with battle as well. So, you know, there's a discussion in the hip hop community. Can you call yourself the GOAT, the greatest of all time, if you haven't battled? This is a man's thing. Battling, war, combat. Have you done some combat with your combat boots on? You know what I'm saying?
By 2023, Cole confidently claimed the title of greatest rapper alive, a sentiment echoed in his feature on Drake's first-person shooter.
So J. Cole responded to Kendrick. The bars are very vicious. Some would say offensive. Yeah, kinda guessed. You wanted him to say, oh man, his pants are poopy. He had doo-doo head. It's rap beef. You thought it was gonna be nursery rhymes? I'm so confused by you guys' response. You can't be disrespectful and have respect.
This concept of being the overlooked middle figure plays out like a family hierarchy. Drake is positioned as the eldest, the first to explode in the mainstream, mastering the art of hit-making early. Cole followed closely behind, showing strong lyrical ability, but not reaching Drake's level of commercial dominance. Cole even admitted in interviews that early on, he saw Drake's success as a benchmark. Then came Kendrick, the youngest, yet often seen as the most critically acclaimed. In the stereotypical dynamic, the youngest sibling is viewed as the most gifted, and Kendrick fit that role. Though J-Rock was initially expected to be TDE's breakout star, Kendrick's Section .80 and Good Kid, MAAD City shifted the narrative. His debut album was one of the most impactful since Kanye West's College Dropout. That kind of reception was something Cole deeply aspired to replicate. He aimed for a debut that echoed...
Yeah, I disagree with J. Cole when he said that Kendrick don't have any classics. That was false.
Illmatic, Reasonable Doubt, or College Dropout, the type of project that becomes a defining classic. Kendrick achieved this, all while keeping his artistic identity intact and maintaining widespread acclaim from both fans and critics. As Kendrick secured his place through innovation and messaging, Drake continued to dominate through commercial appeal and cultural influence. Cole, meanwhile, remained consistent, respected, and prolific, but often seen as operating between the two. Even his 2014 standout album, Forest Hills Drive, which many consider his magnum opus, arrived just before pivotal moves from the other two. The following year, Drake had a massive run with If You're Reading This, It's Too Late, The Meek Mill Beef, and What a Time to Be Alive. Kendrick followed up with To Pimp a Butterfly, a project hailed for its vision and political depth. In that moment, the gap between the three widened, not in talent, but in cultural imprint. All of this unfolded just months after J. Cole released what many consider his most acclaimed project. While the album was a powerful body of work, it was quickly overshadowed by the massive cultural moves from his counterparts in the Big Three. In the aftermath, Cole continued to be somewhat overlooked in the broader hip-hop landscape. This context is why the idea of being the middle child resonated. Around this time, Kendrick had delivered his most personal and reflective album, stepping back from the savior image the industry had placed upon him. The project ended with Kendrick saying, "Sorry I didn't save the world, my friend. I was too busy rebuilding mine again."
Ooh,
Cole may have seen that vulnerability as a weakness. When breaking down the lyrics of 7 Minute Drill, this perception becomes clearer. Cole, believing he had finally stepped into his prime, may have misjudged just how dangerous his competition still was. With Drake focused on health issues and Kendrick stepping away from the spotlight, Cole saw 2024 as his time to lead. Kendrick's Like That verse was largely seen as a direct response to Cole's claims on First Person Shooter. At this point, Cole couldn't release a new album without responding. After declaring himself the greatest, saying his pen was sharper than ever, and hinting that other rappers should fear him, he now had to live up to the image he projected. Instead of waiting, Cole made his most aggressive move yet. And while he was the first to strike back, it set
that Cole made his most aggressive move, and that joint was a I'm like, say the word. Yo, classic wasn't a classic, and that 7 Minute Drill joint was not it, boy. I think that was a little test run, like, yeah, let me see if I could get up in there. No, sir. Dot write too fast. And he makes sense when he write. That joint, that 7 Minute Drill one. You got Drake, he got the ghostwriters. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that's it. You couldn't, he couldn't hang. Cole could not hang.
Set off a chain reaction that would engulf the entire genre. In the coming weeks, diss tracks would drop rapidly, from Kendrick and Drake to Rick Ross, ASAP Rocky, Future, The Weeknd, and Metro Boomin. Even The Game entered the fray against Rick Ross. Chris Brown and Quavo had their own exchange, but amidst the chaos, many forget that J. Cole was the first rapper to respond. His verse on First Person Shooter initiated the tension, and just 9 days after Kendrick dropped Like That, J. Cole responded with 7 Minute Drill, becoming the first artist in the battle to formally answer Kendrick's challenge. J. Cole entered the booth ready for confrontation, but what truly surprised the industry wasn't just his swift reaction, it was that he would later retract it. The release of 7 Minute Drill signaled confidence, even though the calculated precision of Kendrick's approach seemed far beyond what Cole anticipated. For a diss response, it fell short in matching the intensity of Like That. Historically, Cole's responses to criticism leaned toward reflection rather than aggression. He once responded to consistent provocation from Lil Pump with a measured track and a peaceful sit-down, contrasting sharply with this sudden offensive stance toward Kendrick. Perhaps he expected backup, possibly from Drake, or simply underestimated the ferocity Kendrick would bring. It's important to note that Cole's earlier commentary in First Person Shooter sparked this entire chain of events. Without that reference to the Big Three, Kendrick wouldn't have had the framework for his return. While Like That was primarily aimed at Drake, about 15% of its content was directed at Cole, and Cole, not Drake, became the first to respond. On April 5th, just 9 days after Like That dropped, Cole released Might Delete Later, a mixtape with 12 tracks positioned as a prelude to his next major release, The Fall Off. The title itself proved eerily prophetic as the project ignited controversy. Cole left 7 Minute Drill on streaming platforms just long enough to capture first week numbers, then removed it days later. At this point in 2025, the hip-hop world had already seen significant action. Albums from artists like Kanye West, 21 Savage, and Future and Metro Boomin were already in circulation, and Kendrick's verse on Like That had disrupted the entire landscape. With this momentum, Cole's project was highly anticipated. Cole had often been
I know that wasn't a Wu-Tang CD he had. Cole.
This momentum, Cole's project was highly anticipated.
What? Cole know about Wu-Tang? What?
Project was high.
What? Cole knew about Wu-Tang when he was about 8 years old. Oh, man. I don't know, y'all. I don't know where, hey, Cole, bro, I don't know where you get this old scary stuff from. Wu-Tang ain't teach scariness. They taught you how to protect your neck. I don't know where you learn this scary stuff from. Cole.
Highly anticipated. Cole had often been admired for introspective and conceptual work, but many were hoping to see him in a more aggressive, punchline-heavy form, something in the vein of, if you're reading this, it's too late. His pen was sharp, and the public wanted to see it unleashed. And yet the context made one thing unavoidable. He couldn't release a project without addressing Kendrick's verse. From the intro alone, Cole laid down bold statements. He rapped about entering his prime and being untouchable among current rappers. These declarations set expectations sky high. He doubled down on his stature, claiming no rapper could outlast him, and affirming his place as a Hall of Famer who remained hungrier than all newcomers. Yet the fallout from this track would reveal that confidence alone wasn't enough. As the dust settled, it became clear that Cole's miscalculation wasn't just in underestimating Kendrick, it was in believing that this was a battle he could approach without a flawless strategy. Regardless of how this beef played out, how many disses were deleted, or how narratives changed, 7 Minute Drill remains a significant moment in the timeline. While it didn't deliver the most potent bars of the battle, it stood out for its energy and timing. At the point of release, the battle still had an exciting and unpredictable tone, and the track itself had potential to be a high-energy standout. This highlighted one of the key tactical gaps in Drake's approach. Across the battle, his disses leaned heavily on darker tones, lacking the vibrant momentum Kendrick captured with Not Like Us, a West Coast anthem that doubled as a global hit. Even Push-Ups, one of Drake's more direct responses, came across as grim and reactionary, released under pressure after it had already leaked online. In contrast, the first half of 7 Minute Drill delivered upbeat production and infectious cadence. While its lyricism didn't match the sharpness of Kendrick's or Drake's best moments, it offered a glimpse of what a hit-driven diss could have looked like in this battle. Had the track remained available across platforms, it might have held up better in hindsight. Despite its shortcomings, it contributed to the momentum of what would become one of hip-hop's most memorable lyrical standoffs. This track also marked the official start of what evolved into a major lyrical conflict. It set the stage for the wave of disses that would soon follow, not only from Kendrick and Drake, but also from other major artists like Future, Metro Boomin, Rick Ross, and A$AP Rocky. The energy around this moment was unlike
A$AP Rocky. ASAP. I take A$AP over AYAP. Yeah, I take that over AYAP.
like anything the genre had seen in years. And now, 1 year later, the cultural impact still resonates. The track may not have aged as well as others, but its role in this historical sequence can't be denied. It was the spark that lit the fuse. Let us know, how does 7 Minute Drill hold up a year later?
Bruh, ain't nobody talking about 7 Minute Drill. Ain't nobody talking, ain't no quotables from there, none of that. The only quotable I know is because it got on my nerve is, I'm like, say the word. Bro, that was, matter of fact, that was cringy. That's why I remember it, because it was so cringe, like, ew, like, bruh, I'm like, say the word. No, Ninja. I'm like, say the word. I'm happy you did delete that. And with you linking up with Drake, that ain't gonna work. But Doc gonna keep shining on him with this Gen X tour. Keep shining on him. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know what y'all think about J. Cole and Drake link up to try to jump Dot. Y'all let me know, man. Dot gonna keep, man, come on, bro. You already know what's gonna happen. You already know what's gonna happen. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Big Kish signing out. I'm going, y'all.